My second husband was indulged in drugs, and I didn't know how to deal with that. And I thought I could love him enough, or I could be a good member of the church enough that he would realize that that wasn't what sustained him, that it was God that sustained him, or that God, his love, that would carry him through. But it was really difficult for quite a while because I didn't know how to handle it. But I kept trying to be a good example. I kept trying to be like Christ. And I remember that there was a time when, I was faced with, how do I deal with this? Because I felt like his indulgence was tearing our family apart. And I didn't want that for my children. They didn't deserve that. I didn't feel like they deserved that. And so I was having, talk with the Lord, which I tend to do quite often. And I was telling him, what should I do? Should I stay in this marriage and try to work it out? Or do I get out of this marriage? I have to tell you that the Lord didn't give me an answer. There wasn't a clear answer of what to do. So I just kept trying to be a good example. But as time went on, he kind of extricated himself from the family anyway. I didn't have to really do anything. But in that instance and in other instances where I had a child who was burned, was scalded on his legs, all the way down his legs. It were third-degree burns. So he was put in the hospital. And the worst thing to do is to see your child being debrided. That's where they go in and scrub off the dead skin. And they had to do that every day. That was a time when I had to rely on the Lord and really lean on him, because that was something very hard. And I felt really responsible for it, because it was a time when we didn't have electricity. And I had boiled some water and to get ready to bathe them. And so he knocked over the water. So that's how he got burned. And so that was really hard because I felt guilty. I felt I was a bad mom. I felt, what do I do? I almost killed my child is how I felt. But I really had to lean on the Lord, and I just asked the Lord to please help me to know how to deal with, in both of these situations and many other situations in my life. What do I do? And I just prayed, and I kept trying to move forward. This is a journey, and there are hard, difficult things within this journey, and we just have to trust the Lord, and that's what I've tried to do.